All right, it's Move It Monday, and did you know it is also Fall Prevention Awareness Week? Yeah, falls are actually the leading cause of injury if you're over 65, and exercise is just one of the ways that you can lower your risk.
Yeah, so we have Mike Teeter, the Director of Operations at Physical Therapy and Balance Centers in Portland, here with us this morning to talk about what you need to know to stay healthy. Good morning. It's a fun topic to talk about because it is more prevalent than I think people realize.
It's important.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Just to add on to what you were saying, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 actually falls every single year.
Wow.
And so working on balance and fall prevention is very important, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
There can be some, real long-term consequences to falling too. It's not just the fall that can be the
Absolutely.
problem. So we want to
the impact
avoid
of it and
try to prevent it from ever happening in the first place. So first, I guess, what are some ways to understand your risk for falling?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things when we're talking about fall prevention and your risk for falling is just, how you do getting around in the community. People, if you're having a tendency to lose your balance or you've fallen or you're afraid of falling, those are times where, you might be concerned that you might be at risk for falling and might want to get a fall screening done. And so one of the things we do at Physical is this annual Fight the Fall event that we time at the same time as the National Council on Aging's Fall Awareness Week, where people can actually come into the clinic and have their balance screened and tested to see if they are at risk for falls.
What are one of the ways? I know I've done like a stand on one foot kind of test before. Is that one of the ways you can check for someone's balance?
Yeah, absolutely. Standing on one foot.
We'll be your guinea pigs. So how would we go about testing our risk here?
So, if you're at home and you want to test your balance, generally we would have you stand at a counter or stand in a corner.
Okay.
Because if you do lose your balance, we want you to not fall.
Right.
That's
true.
And so if you got a counter in front of you.
Yeah, got a place you can grab.
Here, I'll go behind the couch. I'll be that guy.
Safety first,
I'll demo
Travis.
that guy.
Okay.
So perfect. So we got a couch right in front of you. So you're going to stand, and basically what you're going to do is you're just stand on one foot.
Okay.
And you're going to pick up your hands, okay? And you're just going to count to 10.
Okay.
And we just want to see if you can stand 1 foot for 10 seconds. That's a good indicator that you have pretty good balance.
Okay.
Are you standing on one foot?
I'm on 1 foot, I promise.
No cheating. Okay.
Woo!
Absolutely.
All
And
right.
so if you can't stand for more than 10 seconds, then that is something that should, alarm you that getting your balance checked would be a good idea.
Okay. So then when let's say that diagnosis does come down, hey, you do have an issue with your balance, how can we work on improving that balance? Are there exercises to help with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things when we're looking at balance is understanding that to have good balance, what happens is we have information coming in from our body to our brain. Our brain processes that information and sends that information out to our body and our muscles to coordinate balance. And so when we're looking at our balance, when we talk about the information coming in, we're talking about our vision. So information coming in from our eyes, our sense of touch, our hearing, all of those sorts of things.
Okay.
And so making sure that you've been to the doctor to have your eyes checked, your ears checked regularly is super important. Staying active is super important because it stimulates the sensors that help to control your balance that are sending that information to your brain. But then staying active, is probably one of the number one things you can do working on strength and flexibility exercises.
Sure.
One of the strengthening exercises that we do recommend a lot is to focus on exercises that work multiple muscle groups, exercises that are functional. And so one of the exercises that we recommend most commonly is just sit to stand.
Sit to stand. So
is that as truly as simple as it sounds?
Yeah.
Just sit and
to stand.
And depending on everybody's fitness level, it can be different, right?
Okay.
So if your fitness level isn't great, you can be sitting to start, use your arms, push up and stand.
Okay.
And you can just do that repeatedly until you fatigue. Some people may fatigue in 5 reps. Some people may take 30.
So is this about building, the muscle groups, in the lower half in order to find that balance? Is that essentially what this comes down to, or what is happening when we're doing the sit to stand? And
yeah, absolutely.
balance
You're strengthening your quads. You're strengthening your glutes, which are important muscles. It is a functional movement where people have to be able to get up, but it's mostly just that it's working a lot of muscle groups. And if you don't get a lot of activity, this can be a good place to start.
And so then with the graduation from there to go, be like a chair squat, and then eventually you could do a full squat.
Absolutely. You could do just getting up from a chair without your hands. You could do partial squats. You could do deeper squats where you're touching the chair and getting up. increasing the number of repetitions you do, so you can always make the exercise harder or easier depending on your fitness level.
Makes sense to me. All right, well, before we let you go, where can people find you if they want to call physical and maybe get a chance to work on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So this week we're actually doing fall prevention screenings or fall screenings in our clinics.
Okay.
And so you can reach us at physical.com, which is spelled like the name of my shirt here.
Perfect, and we got it there on the screen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mike, appreciate it. This is good stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much for
appreciate
having
the
me.